beautiful people, and welcome to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Watch Wednesday, October 8th, 2025. This program begins now. Football is magical, and sports are the greatest. We're incredibly lucky that we get a chance to chat about them every single day, and football is normally the topic of discussion on this particular show, but today's a little bit different. And yes, we have 12-year NFL vet and Super Bowl champion A.Q. Shipley here.
Baby A.Q. Let's go, boys.
Penn State guy. Penn State.
Oh,
Penn State.
We are Penn State.
And what are we? And what are we?
We're a bad football team right now.
No!
Hey.
You guys lost one bad game. Oregon's a really good team. I mean, obviously, you guys.
What about the next one?
Well, UCLA, obviously, you guys don't show up. It's a lot of travel. It's far away over there.
Mm-hmm. And it needed to be Judge. He's been great. He's batting over 500 in the playoffs so far this year. So even if they would have gotten eliminated last night, people still would have killed him. But he's not the problem. But he needed to be the guy to kind of get this thing going back in the right direction. And he was last night. So, hey, they win tonight. Anything can happen in a Game 5 in Toronto.
Who's the manager up there?
Aaron Boone.
How about this guy keeping the boys motivated?
Mm-hmm.
How about that? That's good managing.
Aaron Boone football.
Yeah,
That's what we're talking about.
He almost had a disastrous decision last night that does not matter because they won, but he challenged a catcher's interference in like the third inning when he'd already lost a challenge. Boom. No more challenges left for you. You might need those later in the game. We don't need to be burning those down 5 in the third inning, but it doesn't matter because they won.
He kept the boys motivated.
Mm-hmm.
He kept the boys locked in. Hey, Q, that former Super Bowl winning coach now, off-season ago, that means something to be able to keep the boys kind of motivated, especially in baseball. We're down 6-1 in baseball early. So maybe the Yankees fans get off his back a little bit.
That's a moment for Judge because it's real easy to quit when you're down 6-1. I mean, you're looking for any excuse to roll over and just die at that point.
If you're not a dog.
Yeah, he's not.
Bingo.
Yeah.
And then one guy makes that swing of the bat and the whole place just turns upside down.
That's great coaching.
Yes, it is.
How about this Texans teams? Back-to-back blowouts. Obviously, they get the Titans, and then this past weekend, they get the Ravens. Ravens, I don't know how many things have been said about them this week. A lot of things not good. They traded away a player yesterday.
Odafe Owe.
Yeah, I didn't want to get those wrong. I apologize. Owe gets traded away. He's a good player. So it's like dire times in Baltimore. You obviously got a chance to chat with them whenever you're doing preparation for the game. You see them in person. Texans, really good. Ravens, really bad. What are your thoughts coming out of that game?
Combo of both, for sure. I've played in that stadium a few times. Texans, that's their first ever win there. So I've never won there. And anybody who's played there knows, like the Ravens, that place, it's just you expect to go in there and have a violent, physical, tough football game where the offense is going to hit you in the mouth. The defense is going to play strong ball. The crowd's going to be good. And I was saying in our pregame a little bit, even day games kind of feel like night games there just because of the black and the purple and the defense and just the aura of the place. And this game was none of that. This game, after about halftime, maybe a little later, but not even, felt like a preseason game. And the fourth quarter really felt like a preseason game. And the Ravens are depleted on injuries. There is zero question about that. They have a ton of injuries all over. I think almost half of their salary cap was on the bench for this game. But Kyle Van Noy said himself, look at the 49ers. They have a bunch of injuries. They don't complain. You got to find a way in this league. And it was a very, very poor product, unfortunately. And for them, crazy. They're still the betting favorite to win the AFC North, but they got to figure it out quickly here. The bye week next week is going to be massive for them.
Okay, so let's talk about the AFC North. The Pittsburgh Steelers are on a bye. Everybody around them in the AFC North takes an L, and then there's a quarterback swap from one part of Ohio to the next. There's full chaos in the AFC North right now, and it's not what we expected it to be. How do you feel about Flacco getting traded over to the Bengals from the Cleveland Browns? And what are your thoughts on him potentially beating the Packers twice this season? And then next Thursday, he's got the Pittsburgh Steelers in an AFC North rivalry game that he knows a lot about because he's played for every team.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty crazy. I think if he happened to beat the Packers twice, that would be just an unreal story. He's already had so many cool moments in his career. I do think that anytime you see an interdivision trade, especially at the most important position in the league, that's something that should perk your eyes and ears up, because that you don't just try and help out opponent within your division that you're trying to beat. So there is some interesting aspects to that. But the Bengals are clearly just trying to somehow, some way scrap and claw their way to the point where Joe Burrow gets back, because they know what he's capable of, and they know that if they can just scrape out a few wins and put themselves in position to have a chance, once he comes back, they'll be all right. And Flacco certainly, he's done it before.
Yes,
he's done it
he
in Cleveland
has.
before.
He went off the couch to the Browns, led them to the playoffs, which is why I think Stefanski brought him back this year after a year with the Colts that did not go great, other than the fact that he got to wear really cool cleats on coconut husk grass.
Hell yeah.
Turf over here in Indianapolis. He goes back to Cleveland. Obviously, that quarterback room had a lot of conversation going into the year because the third-round pick in Dylan Gabriel, fifth-round pick in Shedeur Sanders, Super Bowl champion Kenny Pickett was in there at one point, and Joey Flacco was named starter of them all. Shedeur Sanders was kind of attacked by cameras, or Shedeur Sanders was at an event with a lot of cameras that were at it. We don't know what it was, but he was at a car dealership, so it might have been an event where he was doing something, giving back, who knows what all he was doing. And there was a good 3-camera shoot, 8K cameras.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful.
He looked very good in these shots live from the car dealership's lobby. And he said, everything he said was like, thanks to Joe. I appreciate Joe. I leaned on Joe. Joe helped me. I talked to him after the trade. We talked about how quick it was. That was wild. And then he just kind of moved on. It was like he gave the perfect answer for the situation. And I think that quarterback room has dealt with this all pretty well. And Joe Flacco, obviously being a 45-year vet, and the way he acts and talks, like, I'm not their uncle, right? I think he has helped with that entire room, and any success that they have from there, I think they will give credit to Joe, just like a lot of places have in this kind of journeyman career that Joe Flacco has had. Is it going to work for the Bengals, though? I don't know if they could block anybody. Quarterbacks are the most important position. We had how many different quarterbacks play that one year? 90 or 60 or something like that? I forget what it was.
Yeah, high 60.
I think it was like 68.
So they've been trying to adapt the rules. I think Ben Roethlisberger, or Carson Palmer, whenever he was with the Bengals, there was like a crawling thing that happened to him against Pittsburgh Steelers, changed the rule. Tom Brady had something happen, changed the rule. Then there was a slinging type rule that was there. Full body control, but don't put your body weight. You can't go through the ground. There's a strike zone. You're not allowed to hit. You're not allowed to hit. So there's been a lot of rules to try to create the perfect way to tackle the most valuable piece on a football field in the quarterback position. And inevitably, it's always just a judgment call by the refs that are on the field. Like you saw that guy staring down he literally just kind of gives him a chest bump to his back, though. You know, that's literally crazy. Running full speed.
And I wanted to,
that had to
ref
hurt.
Was throwing the flag. I wanted to give the ref the benefit of the doubt and say, oh, he just saw it immediately and threw it. But take time. Why is the flag coming out so fast? Take a second, see what happened, and then be like, oh, he actually didn't do anything bad. This is ridiculous. How that flag is on the ground as they're still just hitting the ground. Take a second, see that he rolled off. It's like performing acrobatics. Now, I believe that there are a lot of roughing the passers that are legit, high, low, whatever. We'll play by your rules. But when we're trying to play by your rules and we're trying to do what you want us to do, give us a break, for Christ's sake. Just please give us a break. We're doing our best. You pull off and you pull your hands away
crazy.
Buddy, I'm clearly not trying to do anything bad here. I don't want a $50,000 fine and a 15-yard penalty. You know how badly I want this sack? It's so hard to get. I want it so badly. Don't take it away from me.
This man is a career Grand Slam champion. He's a 2015 Royal Rumble winner. And in 2006, he was first team All-ACC.
No big deal.
Ladies and gentlemen, our tribal chief, the head of the table, Roman Reigns.
What a transition, huh? What a segue.
How's the body feel? How do you feel leading up just a few days before the big match with Bronson Reed, who, he's broken both of his own ankles jumping off the top of things, okay? He's looking to smash you, dude. How do you feel, Roman? GOAT heading to Australia just a few days.
I feel like crap. My body does not feel good. I was down there not too long ago. The flight, back and forth has not been nice. I've been jet lagged for, I feel like 4 weeks in a row now. So why not just go down there and try to kill myself? So it is what it is. We're going to go just head against the wall, Goldberg style, just reckless abandon. And, yeah, you can't do much worse than I feel now. So let's just go mess it up physically. So,
Okay, so you're not at your best. I don't love that. Okay, not at your best, but you
I
don't
wouldn't
need.
say that. I don't. Yeah, this is like you. I'm a live performer. I can do it at any given moment. It doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? I'm always at 100.
Yeah, you're right.
We're always at the 10 is. You know what I'm saying? We live at a 12, so the 10 will always be easy.
Yeah, because it doesn't
But,
really matter how you feel. Whenever you're in there, you're the goat, obviously. So you're gonna have to.
Well, yeah, you go through the curtain. You know what that. I mean, you could be selling a broken leg back there, but as soon as the music hits, as soon as you go through that black curtain, it's like it's like a shot in the arm.
How cool does it feel whenever you do this? And just the entire place, every city, every single city goes and does the same exact thing. That I don't want to say power, but that is certainly power.
That's power.
Right there. That has to feel pretty incredible.
As long as they do it with me, yeah. As long as they do it with me, we're good to go.
Yeah, speaking of rare air, what you have done and been at the top for so long, I wonder, it reminds me of like Tiger Woods, how long he held world number one, just for astronomical amounts of time, everyone taking shots at him, trying to get his top spot. Have you reached out ever to anyone in other sports, say like a Tom Brady during his run, all these guys that may be the top of their sport, and try to like say, hey, how do you do it? How do you handle this when everyone's trying to come get your spot?
No, I never outside of probably talking to like Dwayne, Johnson.
Of course.
Yes.
We're down here in Miami, so I was thinking maybe Dwayne, Wade or whatever. He's won some championships. Yeah, he's won some championships down here. But no, I haven't had the privilege of talking to any of those guys. But I definitely studied that. You know what I mean? I've definitely watched, Michael Jordan, Tiger, Tom Brady, all these guys, everybody, the goats of their space, of their sport, of their skill. I think it's an easy watch. I mean, ESPN, they have so many documentaries, all the 30 for 30s, so you can kind of dive into that and look into the psyche of what these guys were thinking or feeling, what they were going through.
Ladies and gentlemen, the explosive Emeka Egbuka. How are you, dude?
What up? How you guys doing? I'm doing good.
Hey, we're great. Thank you so much for joining us. Are you an Adidas athlete?
I am. I'm an Adidas athlete.
Bro, they're giving money to everybody. They're trying to get into football. It feels like Adidas is trying to get into football for real. And we appreciate that Adidas is getting in, Nike's in. And I think Adidas is saying, we picked the right guy here in you. Let's chit-chat about how this has gone thus far from our perspective, okay? A.J. Hawk, obviously Ohio State legend, much like yourself. He has a tree on campus. You certainly will have a tree on campus at some point. And you might be the president of Ohio like A.J. Hawk was a couple years ago. But at Ohio State, you're always like the number 2 wide receiver or number 3 wide receiver that was in topic of conversation. Always did your job. I think AJ actually said Emeka Egbuka, whenever he gets into the NFL, is going to be a guy. It has certainly been that. Do you think your journey through Ohio State, how it went, has prepared you for this type of situation being in the NFL? And have you always been like the most mature guy of all time, basically, to handle all of these things?
To the first part of your question, yeah, I think Ohio State has, made me ready for my NFL career in a lot of ways. I think something that the wide receiver room at Ohio State prides ourselves on is, having 3 wide receiver ones at any given time. So we have all the ability to be able to dominate any given game. And we're all super confident in that ability. And just being in that room for so many years and competing with those guys day by day just made me into such a better football player. That was part of the reason that I went to Ohio State, was because, I was a 5-star top 10 recruit, number 1 wide receiver in my class, all that type of stuff. And, could have gone anywhere. Bama, Clemson was hot at the time when I was coming out. But I wanted to go to Ohio State because I knew that that receiver room was special. And I needed to be, I wanted to grow my ability and not just see the field right away. I knew I needed to actually push myself because I have, big goals for my future in the NFL.
See, that's a super mature way of looking as a 17-year-old, 18-year-old. So that goes back to the end of my thing. Yes, you've always been mature throughout it all.